the Royals won an angry, emotional series with the A's this weekend. And while the fans love the team's passion, they know it's time to cool the rage and focus on the pitcher they've never beaten, former Missouri Tiger Kyle Gibson. It's the Twins and the Royals next. Baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's a cold and windy evening in Kansas City where the Minnesota Twins are in town for a 3-game series with the Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This, of course, is Rex Hudler. And the Royals just completed an emotional 3-game series with the Oakland A's. They took 2 of 3. But when your emotions are this high for 72 hours, can it be draining for the next series?
One of the most beautiful things about baseball, and there's many, is the fact that you play it every day. And these players have learned that what you did yesterday is over. Now they can move forward and face a new team.
So we'll take a look at our Honda most trusted players, and it's Lorenzo Cain and Kendrys Morales. 2 great at-bats in that 8th inning to tie and win the game.
It was clutch, but these 2 performers have been clutch all year, Fizz. And you're typically looking for production from your 3 and 4 hitters, but it doesn't always happen. This year, they are driving the Royals bus and driving those runs in. Been exciting to watch these guys perform, especially the newcomer Morales, and that lethal swing from both sides of the plate.
When we come back, Joel and Monty will talk about tonight's Royal starter, Edinson Volquez. That's next.
Average in April in Royals history with a minimum of 2 starts. He's at 167, 2 starts into his Royals career. Maybe no surprise because last year in the National League, 9th lowest opponent's batting average. He is tough to hit. Joel Goldberg alongside of Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. So let's dig a little bit deeper here on the Royals starter tonight, our T-Mobile game changer. Monty, you've had a look now at him twice. So what are you seeing when you start to talk about these two appearances? The numbers obviously look very good. One pitch maybe that beat him in Minnesota, but what are you seeing from some of those pitches that he throws?
Well, he's a veteran guy, comes over with a great season last year in Pittsburgh, is carrying it over. These first 2 games that he's pitched here in Kansas City, he's shown why the Royals wanted him. He has 3 above average pitches, got a really nice changeup we see here, just really bottoms out, throws it to lefties and to righties. Really nice pitch for him. And he's got great movement on his fastballs. He throws a 2-seam fastball that appears to be at the left-handed batter, comes back to the plate for a strike. So really nice stuff there. And he's got this little spike curveball or knuckle curveball he throws. It just bottoms out. So his arsenal is really effective. Again, he comes over with great expectations. 192 innings last year with the Pirates. Expected to fill some big shoes that we lost with James Shields, but so far, so good to Volquez.
Kyle Gibson has never lost to the Royals. Edinson Volquez trying to beat the Twins. It is a rematch of last Wednesday's pitching matchup that took place at Target Field. The first of 3 between the Royals and Twins coming up next.
You buy your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Visit your Chevy dealer today for great prices on all our new 2015 vehicles. And by the Missouri Lottery, every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. It's a cool evening, but no threat of rain for game 1 of this 3-game series. The manager for Minnesota, Paul Molitor, takes over for Ron Gardenhire. 5-7 to open this year, 5 games back of Detroit. The Royals, of course, at 9-3. Santana, Hunter, Mauer, Dozier, Plouffe, Escobar, Arcia took Volquez deep last time out.
That's right, but Volquez is not going to change a thing. He's going to go out and trust Salvador Perez, who got most of the day off yesterday, to keep him down in a fastball, curveball, changeup. Those are his pitches.
And Arcia in the driver's seat, Edinson Volquez. The right-hander with a very good sinking fastball, outstanding changeup.
Better believe it. Hitters know it. Got to look out for that fastball and try to pick it out and see it up in the zone. He does 2- and 4-seam it. He'll sink it, 4-seam up in the strike zone. He's a pro and a veteran, and he carries himself like it.
And throwing more strikes, you see the walks per 9 innings going down. Santana tries to drop one to left, but there is the Gold Glove winner, Alex Gordon.
Now, Santana hasn't been around a long time, but he knows better than to try to dump one there in front of Alex. A nice try, but Alex, with a great first step coming in, says, no problem. Let me start the game with some Trevor turf on my uniform.
Now a guy who's had tremendous success against Kansas City pitching, Torrey Hunter. And Torrey, in his 17th big league season, is at 332 home runs, and 34 of those have come against the Royals.
He hit a home run at Target Field for the first time in that Twins uniform yesterday, and he feels a lot better now. And he got it out of his system so he can go these next 3 games and not sniff one. That'd be great.
That is your script.
Yeah, give him a couple lousy singles with nobody on. Ooh.
Look at that great pitch by Volquez. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Look at Torrey Hunter. He's saying, you know what? That gave me the jelly leg right there. That front foot kind of wobbles a little bit when you see one coming at you like that. Ooh.
Nobody enjoys the game of baseball like Torrey Hunter. And he signed with the Twins back in '93, made his Twins debut in '97.
Okay, there's the curveball that buckled him. And that 2-seamer coming in on him kind of messed him up. Now, here we go, breaking ball away.
To Hosmer, and 2 outs. Edinson Volquez benefited from tutelage of his pitching coach Ray Searage with the Pittsburgh Pirates and dropped all the way down to 3.3 walks per 9 innings. And Ray said, I want you to throw that sinking fastball more.
Yep. But the importance of repeating his mechanics has been the main thing. Dave Island worked with him a lot in the spring about his arm slot. Coming out of that pitcher's glove, he wants it to come straight up and not wind it down and around.
He delivers strike 1 to Joe Mauer.
I'm impressed with the 15 2/3 innings so far. Just 1 homer and only 2 walks. He's given up. 12 punch-outs.
Ahead of Mauer, 0-2 are Ford around the horn.
Escobar's back. Oh man, the way he hobbled off the field the other night, that looked really dangerous, and it looked like it was going to be a lot longer. Thankfully, he's a quick healer, playing with no threat to injure. Still a little soreness in there, but they wouldn't let him back out there if they knew there was a threat to missing further action.
Yeah, he showed me during batting practice the sleeve that he's wearing on that left knee. And he said there still is pain there, but he is good to go. He played in 172 straight games before missing Saturday and Sunday. And Mauer swings and misses, and Volquez with a very sharp 1-2-3 first inning. We'll see Esky lead off when we come back. See the first two Royal batters, Escobar followed by Moustakas, both hitting over 300, and so is Hosmer, Morales, and Perez. Then Alex Gordon, who is 5 for his last 11. Paulo Orlando, we hope he gets another triple.
Absolutely, you hope so. I'll tell you though, it's been really fun to watch the middle of that order with Kane in there. However, Lorenzo Cain is getting a chill pill tonight, courtesy of his manager Ned Yost, saying, you know, why don't we just give you this game off and let somebody else do the driving.
Look at the numbers by Kyle Gibson against Kansas City. 4-0, a 1.38 earned run average.
Fizz, you look at him. This guy's unbelievable. He's got tremendous skills, Fizz. No walks, 9 singles. The last time he faced these our team, only 1 run he gave up, 13 ground ball outs. He's a worm burning machine on that mound.
And Hud, it seemed like whenever he missed in that game up at Target Field, he missed low in the dirt where the Royals couldn't drive the ball.
He's everything you want out of a guy that's 6'6", 210 pounds. Downhill angle. He had thrown harder this spring, I had heard, 94, and even some 95s, but that hurts him.
Escobar to left field. And running it down is Oswaldo Arcia.
The reason that hurts him is that his sinker flattens out. Now, Twins defense. Their left fielder, Arcia, he's more of a right fielder, but he's getting comfortable out there in left. Center fielder is a platoon. Got to catch that ball, though. It'll hurt you. Hurt your pitching staff.
The Oakland A's did not shift as dramatically on Mike Moustakas. Minnesota is. They're keeping Plouffe close to third base because Moose got a bunt base hit in Minnesota last week.
Yeah, but just 2 guys on the right side of the infield for Moose. That's good.
And he fights this pitch off. 0-2 from Gibson, who continues to be a strike thrower against Kansas City.
If you're facing a sinker baller like that now with 2 strikes, they're going to move their guys, 3 guys over there. They did a little switch on him with 2 strikes. But you have to stay inside the baseball with your swing. Just like that. Great shot at going to left field. That was a nice inside out swing. Because a sinker baller, you try to pull him, you roll your hands over the top of the ball, and you hit ground balls right at him, just like he wants you to do. See if Moose can get a left field hit.
In the dirt. But Hud, they faced him less than a week ago. Who has the advantage, Gibson against the Royals, or the Royals having seen him before?
You know, I'm going to say that the hitters have a little bit more memory recall that short a period of time. Hitters gonna remember. Now, if it's a month later, he's going to have to look at some film again. He had Moose rolling over there. Pitchers, you know, pitchers have got to stay on your same game and pitch the same way you would any time. But this is what they're seeing. Standing straight up, nice separation, great form, straight on top, right downhill. Not a whole lot of movement to his delivery. Trying to see the ball up. Look up in the zone. That's out of his release point. You got to pick it up. There's one there. He left it up right down the middle. Moose tried to just flip it out to left field. Really love Moose's approach this year.
And of all the Royals, he has had the greatest success against Kyle Gibson, 5 for 10 in his career.
That was an emergency hack. Perfect. Don't want to take it called looking, but just get a piece of it so you can buy yourself another good pitch. Again, Moose with the right approach. And he hit the ball all over the ballpark yesterday. Hit the ball hard. Had nothing to show for it, but it's some good line drives.
And I've been watching Hosmer in the on-deck circle, and he's been studying Gibson in every pitch he's throwing to Moose. Jordan Schaefer in center field will make the catch for out number 2.
Might as well show you the flags tonight because the wind plays a big difference in baseball games, whether they're big league games or little league games. pushing out to right field, going to knock the ball down in left, help with some carry to right.
And this guy doesn't need much help. He's so strong. But you hit one where you don't square it up, you might get some help to have it leave the yard. Gibson very difficult to take deep. Last year in 179 in the third innings, he only gave up a total of 12 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hosmer with 1 home run, and it was a blast to right center field. Tries to muscle that one, and it stays up, and the wind forces it over towards Schaefer as he moves to left center field to make the catch. So both pitchers 3 up, 3 down in the first.
No ground ball out.
Baseball.
You know, it gets pretty loud there and gets pretty rowdy.
They've done little things along the way to kind of keep it current, but when you go into that ballpark, you certainly don't feel like it's been there as long as it has.
I can't remember a 3-game series that was as loud as this weekend, with the Oakland A's in town facing the Kansas City Royals. The Royals took 2 of the 3 games, and 110,000 people were here, HUD, and they were rocking like it was the postseason.
I agree with you, especially in April. But we have seen this stadium rock louder and longer, though, last postseason.
But this is April.
I know. I just told you. I love the fact that it's April and these fans are into every pitch. They're into everything that these players are about. Compliment to the organization.
Brian Dozier, a young man with very good power. He had 23 home runs last year, has 1 this year. He is 27 years of age, out of Tupelo, Mississippi.
And the reason that it's a compliment to the organization is because they've worked hard to put a winning product out there.
Let's take a look at the University of Kansas injury report. Omar Infante left yesterday's game with a left groin injury, and he is day to day. Ned Yost said he's not available tonight, but he could be available tomorrow.
Incredible. The injuries that the Royals are sustaining have all been really good. If you can understand that, that means they're not real severe. They haven't lost a lot of guys for a long time. The report we got on Holland was good. So, man, Ned Yost has got to be pretty happy.
But in the last week, they lost Rios in Minnesota. Greg Holland on the 15-day disabled list. Escobar, Infante, injured. Heskey not playing Saturday and Sunday. Infante not playing tonight. So you go from great health to question marks.
Yeah, Rios being the most severe as far as missing most time.
Now Trevor Plouffe. Outside corner right at the knees. Advantage. Volquez had 1 and 2 after he walked Dozier on 4 pitches.
Yep, now Dozier, he'll run. He ripped off over 20 bags last year. He'll go, but it's going to be a situation where he thinks it could be a breaking ball in the dirt. Change up is Volquez is one of his best pitches, and that could be a pitch that Plouffe sees here. Get him to roll over into a double play.
And it will be interesting on how Escobar turns that first double play opportunity with that left knee after being slammed into by Brett Lawrie, the third baseman of the Oakland Athletics, on Friday. Up the middle, a base hit for Trevor Plouffe. Stopping at second base is Dozier, and Minnesota has 2 on with nobody out in the top of the second.
Went with a changeup, but it stayed up. It was elevated. Plouffe was able to track it. Now, if I'm Paul Molitor, I would be asking Eduardo Escobar to bunt right here. Okay, nobody out. See if you can work yourself in a situation where you can get an early run and get on the board first.
Do you say that because of Gibson's success against Kansas City?
Exactly. The fact that you got your guy going out there, one of your best pitchers, may not need a lot of runs. Nobody out first and second. See if he plays it by the book.
He's only batting 160 after hitting 275 last year. And he does show bunt, pulls it back in time, ball 1. They're having Escobar play everywhere this year. He's a very talented shortstop, but he can also play second base, and he started in left field in 1 game against the Royals last week. Twins won 2 of 3 last week. Kansas City won the opener, blowing out Minnesota 12-3. And then they had the Tuesday off, and the Twins came back and won games 2 and 3 by scores of 3-1 and 8-5. And the reason was the Twins' ability to hit in the clutch. They hit .421 with runners in scoring position. Escobar hits it to Hosmer. He goes second, and it skips off the glove of Escobar. A run will score, and an error likely charged to Hosmer, whose throws usually are right on the money.
Well, you don't have to tell the Gold Glover what he did wrong there. Rushed it a tad. See, he didn't quite take a short step crow hop over there. He did it flat footed, and the ball sailed on it. Can't expect Escobar to catch that and stay on the bag.
That is only the Royals' 4th error this year. They were tied for first in the American League with only 3. And now Arcia, who hit a home run off of Volquez in their last meeting, and that was the difference in the ball game.
You got to score to win, though, don't you? Kyle Gibson's good, but I don't know if he can throw a shutout. Ooh, my.
Wow. And he got the guy in the on-deck circle, Kurt Suzuki, and it slammed off his ankle.
Oh, man. That is some buzzard luck. You see that ball fly by guys in the on-deck circle all the time, but rarely does it make any contact to buckle a guy like it just did.
And a guy like Suzuki, who is a catcher, who usually has all this equipment on and is taking foul ball after foul ball off of his body, and then, as you said, buzzard's luck to get a foul ball when he's standing in the on deck circle.
Hopefully it was his shin and not his ankle bone. You know, you're on the on deck circle. Most hitters are timing the pitcher. It's throwing his pitches. You're watching, but this is an emergency hack. Just barely, just to try to, keep it from being called a strike. And it was heat seek.
And Kurt Suzuki is one of the finest defensive game callers in the contest.
See,
here it is.
See how he's measuring up the pitcher? He sees it coming.
Well, he's going to try and continue. Chris Herman is their backup, but he's not nearly as gifted defensively as Suzuki, particularly controlling a running game like Kansas City's, a team that has won the American League stolen base crown the last 2 years, stealing 153 bases each of the last 2 seasons. But Suzuki says he's fine.
You're not going to ask Arcia to bunt, especially here with 2 strikes anyway. He's going to be swinging.
Volquez trying to see if he would chase something up high. This is a guy with very good power. 73 of his 179 career hits have gone for extra bases.
Now, Volquez, who gave up that home run to him in Minnesota, said it was his mistake.
Escobar gets it in time to Colon. They try and get it over to first base for a double play try, but cannot. They do get the force at second base. So Escobar, with his first ground ball challenge, dropped the baseball, then got it to Colon in time, but they really had no chance to get the double play.
Take a little bit of time for Escobar and Colon to get it together and, get some rhythm. I don't know why Colon threw it.
Yeah, he had a long way to go from where he was playing Arcia, a pull hitter.
Yeah, there's no chance to turn 2 on it. Almost threw it away.
Well, here is Suzuki. If you can get him on a ground ball, he may not be running well to first base after he got struck in that foot, in that ankle area.
This guy's a gamer. Kidding me? Shoot, his adrenaline's pumping right now. That's the best thing, really. Run it off.
Good breaking ball in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Very confident guy, too, as well. He was a guy who turned down a full ride at the University of Hawaii, and he's from Maui, to walk on at Cal State Fullerton, where he became an All-American catcher.
Volquez with that good changeup that moves down can induce a double play. He induced 17 double plays last year with Pittsburgh. 2-seam sinking fastball and those pitches that go down. There it is.
Good call, Hud. Escobar wants to take it himself and turns the 6-3 double play. Minnesota gets a run in the 2nd inning. 1-0 Twins. 2 years ago, Boston suffered the tragedy at their historic marathon, and the Royals were in town as the next team to play them. Friday's game was canceled. Saturday they played. Sold out Fenway Park. It was an emotional ceremony, and a lot of tears flowed. But they were, that day, Boston strong. They would rally against Kansas City to win that game, but the Royals would come back and sweep a doubleheader on Sunday.
Never forget it.
Neil Diamond showed up to sing Sweet Caroline.
Yep. Flew out on his own dime, from what I heard. He wanted to be there.
Yeah, it's a great story because apparently somebody saw him at the airport flying into Boston. He got off the flight and somebody called the Red Sox and said, "Hey, did you know Neil Diamond's in town? Is he going to sing the anthem?" And they go, "We have no idea." He just flew on his own. He thought it was a terrific opportunity to show his love for the city. And so they had to set it up where he sang late in that ball game. Well, here we go to the bottom of the second inning. Kendrys Morales, one of the heroes in yesterday's 4-2 win over Oakland. And Rex, what a great at bat. He was down 0-2, fought back to run the count full, and then got the pitch to his liking.
That's the one thing that's surprising even his hitting coach Dale Swain. The fact that he's being selective and patient. Spring training, he swung at anything and everything. Dale said, you know, when the season starts, those pitchers aren't going to throw him fastballs every time. Well, Morales, he's a professional hitter. Bell rang. He says, all right, I got an idea. They're going to try to get me to swing out of the strike zone. He's been very selective.
He rolls that one up the middle. It's fielded by Santana, who throws him out. Hey, students, come out to the K on Wednesday nights for Student Night and Local Music Showcase presented by Inc. Magazine. You can mingle with friends and enjoy food and drink specials exclusively for students in the outfield experience while listening to live music from local Kansas City bands. The next Student Night is this Wednesday against the Twins, featuring music from the MGDs. Get your tickets now for just $8 at the box office or at Royals.com/Student Night.
The MGDs.
The MGDs.
That's right. Have any idea what that stands for? Mighty Good Disco Songs.
All right.
I don't know.
You know what? I thought that was good enough for me.
They don't play disco. We know what happens when disco gets shown in ballparks. Or remember in Chicago?
In Comiskey.
Oh.
Disco night. Disco demolition night. The pitch to Salvador Perez is fouled off, and Salvi has had a hard time against this Minnesota right-hander. Just one hit in 12 at bats. He was given the start off yesterday. Eric Kratz got the start, but Salvi finished the game. There's a shot up the middle, and the Royals have their first base hit.
That's the right idea. Great two-strike approach. You want to get the guy, get it before it sinks. Sometimes move up closer to the box. Stay right up on it. Plate's right up underneath him. Go with it. You try to roll it, pull it, your hands roll over. It's a ground ball to somebody.
Now Alex Gordon, and good to see him coming around. He started the season only 1 for 16, but 5 hits in his last 11 at bats, and he slams this one to center field. Back goes Schaefer. That's off the base of the wall. Perez is going to be sent home. They've got a play at the plate, and Salvi is out.
I could tell on contact that that ball was scorched. It made a loud sound. No chance Schaefer's going to catch it in center field. However, the relay throw off the wall was perfect. And the throw by Santana, the shortstop, was even better. Jershely got Salvi pegged. See how one hops it perfect throw, and really that's what it took. So whenever you send a guy like that with less than 2 outs, you're a third base coach, you're assuming that it's got to be perfect throws to get him, and it was.
Now Paulo Orlando.
Sometimes you take a gamble saying, oh, you know what, he's going to short hop the throw to one of them, or they're going to miss, or they're going to be off the line, and he scores.
Boy, I thought Schaefer played it great, though, Hud. Right off the wall, immediately getting it to Santana.
It's perfect.
Orlando with only 1 RBI this year. Last year drove in 63 at Omaha. It's a ball in the dirt, blocked by Suzuki. Down the line, but foul. Let's take a look at our Toyota League leaders. Last year, the Royals played, it seemed like every single game we were on the edge of our seats. 47 one-run games last year. They haven't had one yet. The only team in Major League Baseball without a one-run decision. All they want is one more than Minnesota.
Same thing Paulo Orlando wants to do that Salvi did. Just try to keep your hands and your swing inside the baseball. Find a hole. He's going to give up a lot of ground balls. If you find holes, you can do the job.
And he was the hero with 2 strikes on him on Friday. Shot a gapper into right center field. It rolled all the way to the wall, and he had his 4th triple in 4 games, a major league record.
Remember Derek Lowe of Boston?
Super sync.
Yeah, and Detroit, Atlanta. He said, sometimes I get him to hit balls right at my guys, and then other times they find holes and there's nothing I can do. Fortune has a lot to do with it. Where they're playing, that's where defensive shifts come in. You know, sometimes you flip a coin, you roll the dice, you hope that it works. By looking at Santana, the shortstop here, he's on the pull side. He's a little bit on the pull side. So Paulo's got a little bit more opportunities up the middle and to the right side.
Gibson is not necessarily a strikeout pitcher. He only had 107 last year in 179 and a third innings. So he's getting together with Suzuki on how to best get rid of Paulo Orlando.
You would think that the Royals' offensive style of hitting, how they put the ball in play, that they would have more success against Gibson, a sinker ball pitcher, because they're constantly putting the ball in play. And they're making things happen, and they're finding holes, but it hasn't been that way.
Barely misses inside. The count is full. This is quite a battle that Paul was putting on, and he's forcing Gibson to throw a lot of pitches in this second inning. The next he'll throw will be his 34th.
Well, that at bat, or that plate appearance that he got on base in yesterday's game in the 8th inning, that was a key walk. A key walk. 3-2 situation. He worked the count and he milked the walk.
And he was the leadoff batter in that inning, Hud.
That's what got it going.
Moustakas hit a sharp ground ball that the second baseman Sogard made a great play on, but then Kane ripped the double. Hosmer walked and Morales hit his game-winning double high off the center field wall.
With the rookie Calaxte on deck.
Ball 4. So a good at bat by Paulo Orlando, the rookie, who spent 9.5 years in the minor leagues, over 1,000 games. But we've seen some good ABs in his first year in the bigs.
You wait that long and play that many games in the minors, you can't wait for your opportunity to show them what you got.
And fans, you don't want to miss the second annual Zubaz Palooza Day on Friday, May 1st. This special ticket package will feature one-of-a-kind powder blue Royals themed Zubaz pants and a game ticket. Packages start at just $25. Purchase today while supplies last at royals.com/special events. Zubaz pants. Well, here is Christian Colon. Ball 1. And Colon had a good offensive day yesterday with 2 for 3, and then of course started yesterday at short, and with the injury to Omar Infante he was moved to second, and Orlando Calaxte came in to play short and did a nice job. Boy, we really saw a fine arm from that Calaxte.
Yeah, but can you believe that Oakland A's manager Bob Melvin would rather throw a 3-2 cookie to Morales than walk him and load the bases for the rookie on deck? I couldn't believe that Melvin didn't see that or do that.
He said he was thinking his guy would throw a double play pitch.
Well,
he wanted the less speed out there. Fouled off, 2-1.
Managing is not as easy as it looks.
Ned Yost's team was only 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position that last start against Kyle Gibson. In there, 2-2.
Well, that's tough if you're a Royals hitter. And that umpire gives a sinker baller that pitch there, you're in trouble. Gibson's going to be living there all night long. That's even more reason to look him up in the zone. Got to see him up.
Christian Colon likely will see more time at second base. Omar Infante still with that left groin injury, and Colon could help his cause to play more. The solid game tonight against Minnesota.
Better believe it. He knows his playing time could be short this year. You just never know, but you go out there and try to get hot early so you don't have to play catch up.
Another 3-2 count. 40 pitches thrown by Gibson, not yet through 2 innings. .24 thus far in this second inning. And one of the outs recorded was because of his great defense. Schaefer to Santana to Suzuki to catch Perez at the plate. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Gerard Dyson. Boy, 2 really good at bats, Hud, by Orlando and Colon.
They were not giving those at bats away, Fizz. That's what Dale Swaim loves so much. Compete in your at bats each time like it could be your last. You do that, you're going to come out on the winning side.
Hey fans, vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com, and you will be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. Vote at rallyhouse.com.
Get a guy like Kyle Gibson, who's been dominant against your team. You get him in trouble. I don't care if there's 2 outs or not. You've got to come through.
The Royals with 2 hits and 2 walks in the inning, but no runs. Plouffe is in at third. and he slashes it to the opposite side. Santana barely gets it to Dozier, who tumbles across the base and gets the final out. We will trade our Rex Hudler, the Wonder Dog, for a Hall of Famer. Bert Blyleven will join us in the third.
Good trade.
Is the great Bert Blyleven, 287 wins. Hall of Fame.
Wait. I think. That's a long way to go.
Oh, here's the great right-hander. And Rex Hudler told me, he said, you know, I've been traded many times in my major league career, but I've never been traded for a Hall of Famer. And you gave him that opportunity tonight.
I told our side, you know, I got traded for Rex Hudler, and I have to throw in an old ball along with it. So, and I did bring my stapler. I want you to know I brought my stapler. This has been with me for 20 years, and I didn't want Rex to steal it. So I brought my stapler with me.
Well, Bert Blyleven, one of the great pitchers, pitched for many, many teams. He won a world championship for these Twins back in 1987. And here now we see a fly ball struck by Jordan Schaefer, caught by Alex Gordon for out number 1. And Bert, I wanted to ask you, because you've been in every single kind of clubhouse, what you saw from afar over the weekend by the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland A's. What did you think as an outsider?
Well, you know what? I'm going to be on the pitcher side. You know, I believe that when Laurie slid into Escobar, that was a hard slide. Okay, and if the Royals felt he did it on purpose, then you go after him. You want to hit him, which they did. Ventura hit it. Ventura should have hit him in his first at bat. He hit him after somebody hit a 3-run home run, so it made it look uglier than it should have been. Credit Laurie because he took it. He didn't look at Ventura. He walked up the line. It's supposed to be over with. Okay, eye for an eye. That's the way the game was played. I came up with the Minnesota Twins when you guys had Hal McRae here in Kansas City and George Brett. Nobody took out the shortstop or second baseman better than those two guys right there.
Yeah, we took a look at some video of George Brett taking out Willie Randolph in the American League Championship Series years ago. And Randolph wound up in left field. It was a remarkable slide.
Yeah. My roommate, Danny Thompson, I know he was playing short one time, and Hal McRae came in, and he went so hard into him, he actually kicked Danny in the stomach. That's how hard he took him out. But, you know, that's the way the game's played. You know, if Escobar doesn't want to be around second base, then don't go there. You know, your idea as a base runner is to knock that guy away so he doesn't turn to double play. Escobar became a first baseman in that situation because, you know, Moustakas fed him the ball from third base. But all in all, if the game's going to be played the way it was, okay, you drill Laurie, and it's over with. What Herrera did, not good. Not good throwing behind a runner.
There's a ground ball back up the middle, and Torrey Hunter.
And that's just my feelings, Steve. Not good that you throw behind a runner. You could injure him, I mean, for a long time. And also what Duffy did earlier in the year against LaRoche. You don't throw behind somebody's head. We're going to take a look at the slide. Now, you see Lowry right there. He has no idea if Escobar is going to get this ball, in my opinion, and maybe throw to first. Escobar, he could have maybe stepped across the bag, but Lowry did come in hard. But you know what? We're going to see it again. You're going to see guys being taken out at second, or shortstops and second basemen getting taken out. It's part of the game.
Now Joe Mauer.
You see Escobar knows he's there. He knows he's right on top of him. I remember 1970, Rod Carew, great Rod Carew, 7-time batting champ, was playing second base against the Milwaukee Brewers, and Mike Hegan came in, and Rod didn't. He had his foot like that right there. Mike Hegan did a good, safe slide, an aggressive slide, broke Rod's foot.
And Rod, after that, moved to first base.
Right.
Well, Alcides Escobar playing today. We told you he has a sleeve on that left knee. Said it's still sore, but the doctor said he is not playing with an injury. He's playing with pain. Ground ball struck to second base. Colon will take it. Throws out Joe Mauer, and we will keep the Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven, one of the greatest curveballs in the history of the game. Look at that. He'll be back with us right after this. Physiak, along with the Hall of Fame right-handed pitcher Bert Blyleven. Bert, I wanted to ask you one more question about what took place this weekend, Kansas City against Oakland, with so much emotion. You told me before the game, you said that could be a good thing that brings teams together. Why?
Well, it really does, because you know what? You find who wants to, you fight together. I mean, it's a long year, 162 ball games. So sometimes these incidences that the Royals have found themselves in with Chicago, started with Chicago, started with then went to Angels with Mike Trout and Ventura, and then the weekend series here against the Oakland A's. All you read about is, I've got his back, or we're a family here, and that's great.
Escobar, that's down the line. His first game back from that injury, and he will cruise into second base. He does have a slight limp, I noticed, with that left knee, but that's his fourth double of the year, and he is 1 for 2 tonight.
I tell you what, this is an exciting ball club. You kind of saw it materialize for the Kansas City Royals really a couple years ago, and You look at Moustakas and Escobar, who came over from Milwaukee, and Kane came in the same Zach Greinke trade, and you look at Gordon and Hosmer. You just feel, and then you get that great catcher in Perez. My goodness, this is a great ball club. You lost James Shields, but then you go out and get Volquez, and I think he's going to be just as good as Shields was here.
Well, Bert, you know how important pitching is, and with the Royals, it's their bullpen, and they have the best bullpen in baseball. Greg Holland is on the disabled list. Wade Davis stepped in a 1-2-3 ninth inning.
Well, and you have Herrera. You lost Tim Collins, due to the Tommy John, and you've got some veterans down there now. And you got to look at Jason Frazier. My goodness, has he done a great job for you guys? Morales, a lefty, has a lot of big league experience with the Rockies, but he's got a great arm. Matson coming back, he's got a great arm. Chris Young, that's a good at bat right there by Moustakas. Why? He advanced the runner. Now he gives Hosmer an opportunity to drive him in, maybe even with a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more team at-bats by Mike Moustakas.
Yep.
And here's what the bullpen you're talking about, Bert. I mean, look at those numbers. There's never been a major league team that had 3 relievers with an ERA under 1.5.
All those guys could be, closers. Right now it's Wade Davis because Greg Holland is on a disabled list. But, even look at Herrera. He could be a major league closer. Great arms out there.
Hosmer sends it down the line, fielded in foul territory by Trevor Plouffe.
Nice play by Plouffe because he continued the play. He didn't know if it was going to be fair or foul, so he ended up getting that ball and throwing it to Suzuki at home. Kind of an inside-out swing, but watch Trevor Plouffe right here. You don't trust that umpire. You don't know. You can't hear him. Not with the crowd noise, so he just throws the ball to Suzuki.
And Escobar, who has the wounded knee, you wonder how aggressive he's going to be on his slide home. You wonder if the Royals will put a contact play on with 1 out.
Well, with the infield in, they're trying to cut down this run. Twins have a 1-0 lead. And Gibson is a ground ball pitcher.
He gets his high strike across, and Hosmer did not like the call from home plate umpire Las Diaz.
Well, that ball got the top half of the strike zone right there.
And he was able to get Hosmer out last week on soft stuff away.
I'm going to tell you a little story now, Steve. When I pitched, you had American League umpires, you had National League umpires. If I went into a ball game, which I started almost 700 ball games, I knew who that umpire was. Las Diaz may not have ever been behind a plate with Kyle Gibson or Volquez because they're all under one hat right now. And as a pitcher, that's a good pitch right there.
Ooh, awfully close.
And you saw where that high strike was called. He has not called a lot of these pitches right here for both guys. That's off a little bit. Big deal. That's a strike. Come on. Get the game moving. They want to hurry the game up. Call strikes. Let's go.
Here's the 2-2.
Royals fan didn't like that.
Well, you and I last worked together when Alex Gordon went deep off Glenn Perkins on that walk-off, and you said these are the kinds of games that get you into postseason, and
it did.
You made a nice prediction on that one.
You could just sense here, Ned Yost and his coaching staff done a great job here, letting these kids play, letting them to go through the sometimes the downs to find the ups.
That will get away. Escobar will score the tying run.
Well, not the way you draw it up. You would like Hosmer to drive him in, but it's a wild pitch charge to Gibson that allows Escobar to get home to tie the game. Watch this breaking ball right here. Suzuki so good at blocking balls, but the ball caroms off his glove, goes toward the Royals dugout, and Escobar alertly scores, and Hosmer at first. Third walk of the ball game for Kyle Gibson, who did not walk anybody in that 6 2/3 innings a week ago or last Wednesday.
He threw 109 pitches in 6 2/3. All 9 hits, though, were singles. And here is Morales. Really like the addition. Now, the Twins signed him last year, but that was after he missed all of spring training and then signed on June 8th. And Kendris told me during spring training, he goes, I thought I was baseball ready, but a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, when I reported to the Twins, looked like it was 100, and I was constantly fighting from behind.
This guy can hit. I mean, you know, when he was with the Angels before he hit that grand slam and jumped on home plate and shattered his knee and ankle, he had a great year. He's a great addition. And you know what? Morales last year, he didn't do very well for the Twins. They ended up trading him to the Seattle Mariners. He didn't, I think he hit 207 there. But this winter worked his tail end off to get ready for to be part of the Royal family. Like that, Royal family?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Ned Yost told us. He said, Kendris came in and said, I want to get as many at-bats as possible. So they DH'd him, and he would get 4 at-bats while the other starters would get 2. He just wanted to get that timing down. And that will be 2.
Well, that's good timing for the Twins. Double play.
A 6-4-3 ends it, but the Royals do.
All right, let me circle.
Tie the game.
Where is he? Come on, there he is. You are hereby circled, Rex Hudler.
Thanks, Bert.
One here at Kauffman Stadium. Panera or Mazda game break takes us to Boston Patriot Day, and the normally sure-handed Manny Machado unable to get that one. Wei-Yin Chen gives up 5 runs for Baltimore, all unearned. This one called because of rain after 7 innings. Has anybody, Fizz, ever been traded to one team and traded back in the same day?
Well, we have the Wonder Dog, who is a super sub, traded for the Hall of Famer, and then we trade a Hall of Famer to get the super sub back.
Well, the super sub got the Royals a run while I was over there.
There you go.
On their side. That's all I can tell you. And it might have brought their broadcast down, obviously, the great Bert Blyleven. But you know, Dick Bremer, 32-year broadcaster over there, would not let me circle anybody.
Really?
Yeah, he said, no, that is reserved for Hall of Famer status.
Now Bert circled you when you left.
Well, he can do that because that's his thing. He would not let me have that honor.
Yeah, in Minnesota, fans will hold up signs at Target Field saying, circle me Bert, and he'll do it on the telestrator. Little babies or moms and dads, grandmas. Here's the pitch. Edison Volquez. A little bit high, and it's a 3-1 count to Brian Dozier. He walked him on 4 pitches last time, and Dozier would come around to score on the error by Eric Hosmer.
Get down in that strike zone here.
Yeah, Salvi just split the plate with his glove, and Volquez got a little late life on it, and Dozier couldn't do much but foul it off.
So what'd you think about Escobar? Maybe 80% running?
I was watching that, HUD, when he doubled. That there was a slight limp in that left knee.
Well, when he came home, it was down to 70% because he didn't want to get slip on the plate. You know, he kind of slowed it down a little bit. So, you know, you can see there's a little hitch to his get along. It's a routine double. He knew that. Slight hitch, but you know, he's still able to play. You got to admire that. He wants to play.
And he turned a double play on Kurt Suzuki to end the 2nd inning. That's smacked hard, and Moustakas knocks it down, picks it up. Nice pick by Haas on the other end.
Moose looked like a hockey goalie on that one. He's able to keep the ball in front of him. A hot smash by Dozier on a fastball. That ball's coming at you. Just keep it in front, glove it, and look at Hosmer going from low to high with his glove position. Volquez has seen some really nice plays, and this just his 3rd start of the young season.
Now Trevor Plouffe that took a changeup from Edison Volquez, and he goes after the first pitch, pops it up. Hosmer, with the wind pushing it into the stands, had no chance. Hey fans, stop in and check out Rival Sports Bar, located just beyond the fountains in right field. It boasts one of the best views in Kauffman Stadium, and it's a popular spot equipped with a 360-degree bar and a full menu of delicious food and beverage options. You can watch the game in style with floor-to-ceiling glass and numerous HD TVs to keep you up to date on all the action in the field and around baseball. Come on out. Plouffe again lifts it foul, down in the count 0-2. Trevor had a big hit, a walk-off against the Cleveland Indians as Minnesota took 2 of 3 from the Tribe. Just barely outside at 96 miles an hour.
Plenty of heat on that fastball, no question. That makes them other pitches look even better. For him, not for the hitter. There it was. Nice curve on the outer half.
And Jeff Montgomery showed us his spike curve before the ball game if you watched our pregame show. Good curve. Moustakas has it, twirls and fires. Got him.
Moose is extremely talented over there at third base. We know he's got a cannon for an arm, but his footwork and his glove work is really good. He's look at how many he dances. He spun around, pirouetted, got a nice crow hop, got his momentum going towards first. Took that little extra amount of time so he could line himself up and throw a rocket across the diamond.
Here is Eduardo Escobar. Yeah. In that Angels series, there was a ball struck down the line by Mike Trout, who is one of the most explosive runners in the game. And Moose came in, aired it out, and one of the scouts got him at 91 miles an hour with his throw.
Not surprised.
Yeah, he was able to get Trout by just like a half step. One ball, one strike. Yeah, that changeup, he hasn't had the usual life that we saw certainly in game 1 when he beat the White Sox 4-1. And he was a little rugged with the changeup early in that game, and the White Sox were hitting rockets off Volquez, but Royal defenders were running everything down. And then Volquez settled down, and from innings 3 through 8, he was magnificent. Gave up 1 run that day and won his first game as a Royal. That's lined sharply to right field for a hit.
Better to make him earn the hit and get on base than walking him. No free passes.
Yeah, the only walk he's allowed did score. That was Dozier to lead off the second.
Eight ground ball outs. That's that 2-seam fastball, change ups, breaking balls. They all move down.
And it is rather windy, so if you get something up, a left-handed batter could club it and get some help. He's really howling early during batting practice. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. Oswaldo Arcia, we told you he got the big hit off Volquez last time they met. Launched one to right center field, the target field. Just did clear the fence. And that was his only home run of the year. Good pitch on the heater, and he swings and misses down to the count 0-2.
When you swing hard, your head pulls off. You missed that by a mile.
Off speed here.
Yep. Change up away.
Fastball in, just blew it right by him, and Arcia is down on 3 pitches.
That's what Arcia was looking for. Bert, you get circled. Thank you for letting me sit in a Hall of Fame seat. You're the best.
Here's our Academy Sports leaderboard. As you know, the Royals with incredible success when they score 4 or more runs. Since 2013, they have a record of 142 and 28. This year they are 9-1.
And they scored right at 4.2 runs per game last season. That was their average.
Well, scoring against Kyle Gibson has really been a challenge. He has a 1.38 ERA against our Kansas City ball club. Salvador Perez, Alex Gordon, Paulo Orlando will go against Gibson in this. And this gives us time to bring on. Earlier we had a Hall of Famer, Bert Blyleven. We're only going with royalty as well. Now Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery joins us and wanted to ask you about both pitchers tonight, Jeff.
Well, Kyle Gibson's a guy that as we know, has great success against the Kansas City Royals. Got to credit the Royals tonight for being a little more patient. 3 walks already on the night. Not lighting up the scoreboard yet, but stay tuned here because I feel like they have a lot better swings against him tonight than any of the other games he's pitched.
Perez with a drive to deep left field. That's a way back, but Arcia will get there just before the wall. And that's one of the swings you were talking about, Monty, to go along with the 3 walks. Last start, no walks by Gibson against the Royals.
Yeah, when he talked after the last game, he said he allowed the Royals' aggressiveness to play into his favor. And I think that's one of the things the Royals are going to do, make him throw strikes. And he tries to expand the strike zone, but if you make him throw strikes, especially early in the count, you can get to him early.
And there's the deep breath exhale from Kyle Gibson. Now will face Gordon, who almost hit a home run off of him, and he starts Alex off with a curveball for strike 1. Gordon hit one off the base of the center field wall. The Royals tried to score Perez, who was at first, and he was thrown out at the plate by Danny Santana. Alex with 17 home runs against the Twins, more than any other ball club.
That double he raked his first time up was sweet. I mean, that ball was driven. It looked like a 2-iron. Stayed low, and it had lots of carry on it.
And then he comes back with the off-speed pitch. He had a slow start because the first 2 weeks of spring training he was absent, trying to recover from that right wrist injury. Boy, the Royals have put together some good at-bats after Gibson got 2 strikes on the hitters.
They're starting to figure it out. Spit on everything down. Don't even offer at it. If you do hit, it's going to be a ground ball. Wait him up. Wait him out.
Alex hits it sharply. Dozier, though, backhands and throws out Gordon. 2 outs. Fans, now you get own a piece of the 2014 postseason as the Royals and Jostens have teamed up to provide the only officially licensed American League Championship fan collection. And these are great pennants, fan rings, necklaces, cufflinks, key rings, and more. As the storyteller of champions, Jostens has crafted the championship rings of more leagues than any other company. So get your piece of the postseason today at Royals.com/fan rings and go Royals. Here is Paulo Orlando. Monty, if you're still with us, I wanted to ask you why Kyle Gibson has such a great sinking fastball. Why is his better than others?
Well, he uses his tall, lanky body to get downhill action. You stay on top of the ball, stay behind the baseball long, then you're going to get that downward action like you're going to see from him. And there we're going to see the slider. So he's got the slider that goes down and away from the righties like Paulo Orlando, and then his sinker that goes down and in. So he's got a really 2 separate pitches that go different directions. And when he commands those, that's why he's been so good against the Royals.
Monty down in that third base. Camera well. Fouled off by Paulo Orlando, who had a good at-bat his first time up with a walk. Monty was talking about that good down angle. Gibson is 6 feet 6 inches tall. First round pick out of Mizzou. Teammate of former Royal Aaron Crow. And there's a blooper towards right center field, but coming on is Hunter to make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 4th inning for Gibson. 1-1 ball game going to number 5 at the K. Baseball is brought to you by Panera Bread. Avoid the lines. Order online with rapid pickup at delivery.panerabread.com. By Menards. Save big at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Chrysler and the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. Here at Kauffman Stadium, a cool evening, 1-1, top of the 5th inning. And we'd like to say get well soon to Alex Weintraub, a huge Royals fan. He took a spill the other day, broke both arms, and his dad, Craig, dear friends of a friend of ours, Sam Abramson.
Fantastic.
And, Alex, get well soon, brother.
Love that smile on his face. Yep, I tell you what, you fall off your bike and that happens to you. Love to see the smile, young man. You'll get better.
Did you see?
Hang right in there.
Did you see the signature on the cast?
Didn't
one
see
said Dad, the other one said Rocks, so Dad rocks.
Yeah.
And so does Mike Moustakas.
You know, I heard that those lucky people got to come to the wild card game last season here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest games at the K.
Oh, no doubt.
Man, down by 4, 8th inning. John Lester, are you kidding me?
Billy Butler said it's the greatest baseball game he's ever been a part of.
He told us that the other day when he was here with his new team, the Oakland A's. And then the guy who replaced Billy at designated hitter in the final game of that series was the star, Kendrys Morales, the game-winning hit. Here is Jordan Schaefer, 0 for 1, flied out to left, first time up. And Rex, I wanted to talk with you about this, and Monty too, who's down in the third base well. That ball struck foul, and it will find the seats. Ned Yost told us before the game they had a closed-door meeting with the players, and he said we had a conversation about what took place over the weekend and how to handle it in the future. It was a learning experience, Ned said.
Monty, you can go first.
Yeah, I think it's something that was probably expected. I think you got a lot of young players, and a lot have talked about, for example, Yordano Ventura trying to learn from these experiences he's had over the last 3 starts he's made. You know, he's had issues with the cramps, he's had issues with the ejection. Things like this you have to learn from, and as you mature as a player, you're going to get better and better. So if you have some leaders to show you the way, it certainly helps. And when your manager's one of those guys, that's a bonus.
Better believe it. Your manager is the guy. I loved my field general. Now, when you're a field general and a manager, you delegate other generals, and those are usually veteran players on your team to police your clubhouse. But there are times when the general has to speak to the troops, shares with them his feelings and thoughts. Any comments? You guys are welcome to chime in, but let me just tell you, this is how we're going to do it here. You've got to have those meetings.
Schaefer grounds out to Colon, 2 quick outs, and Ned also said nobody likes going through what we went through this weekend. And once again, young players must learn from that. You know, Kelvin Herrera, Yordano Ventura may still be suspended by Major League Baseball, and Ned said we're going to have to accept that and move on.
Yep. It's important that young players and young people understand that there's a pecking order in life.
There's a line drive base hit to center field.
And that there's seniority. There's bosses. There's people that are ahead of you that deserve respect, that have more service time as baseball players. Guthrie's a leader on that team from his service time. Holland's a leader. These guys are all guys you can go to, and that the manager can sit in his office and feel good that those guys are taking care of his clubhouse for him.
Let me ask you about that, Monty. Greg Holland, closer. You were a closer. He has a grade 1 injury to his pectoral muscle. Can you tell me about that part of the body and how important it is to a pitcher, and also the fact that it's only grade 1?
Well, I know grade 1 is the lowest of the grades, and here's what I say: a stolen base attempt, and he got it.
Monty, good call. And we'll get your thoughts on the grade 1. Well, let's see. We may have a a challenge here, so we're going to go on the field to our reporter, Jeff Montgomery. What was your view on this?
Well, it's Salvador Perez, so anytime Salvador Perez has an opportunity to throw somebody out, he normally does it, and I think it might stick. It looked like it's a pretty good play to me.
You better believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Salvi came out of that catching spot with a cannon. Great application of the tag. Molly, you need to go sit back down.
Baseball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. For great deals on all new Ford cars and trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Jeff Montgomery, and Joel Goldberg with you. A 1-1 score. Minnesota and Kansas City. Gibson against Volquez. And Christian Colon will lead things off, to be followed by Gerard Dyson, then Escobar. Colon sends one to Mauer, and he will underhand to Kyle Gibson for out number 1. And Jeff Montgomery still is over near the third base photo booth. And Jeff, we were talking about Greg Holland, and I wanted to ask you about his injury. He says he's a quick healer. The timetable Ned Yost has on him for him to start throwing at the end of this week, and just your thoughts on the pectoral injury that he suffered.
Right, as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted by Salvador Perez. The grade 1, I think that's really good news. And Steve, I never trained my pectoral muscles when I was a pitcher as an active player. I mean, I didn't do bench presses. I didn't do anything to strengthen the pectorals, because to me it was a muscle that I didn't feel like was necessary to be extremely strong to pitch effectively. In fact, I felt like being too strong in that area was a deterrent to me for being successful. So I don't know that the process will be that difficult for him to overcome.
Well, it is good news we got today on the MRI, just a grade 1, which is the lowest grade, and we are hoping that Holland will be back at the end of the 15-day disabled list. Right now both corners are in for the speedy Dyson. Gibson has walked 3. He has thrown 75 pitches. In his last start against KC, he threw 109. Popped him up. Jordan Schaefer for the second out. Fans, you can enjoy one-of-a-kind experiences at the K with our Royals Memories program. It's a variety of on-field opportunities available for purchase each game, and exclusively through the MLB.com ballpark app. Play catch in the outfield, take a photo on the field, present the game ball, and many more exciting experiences are available. All you have to do is download the ballpark app pick upgrades and select a once-in-a-lifetime experience you will cherish forever. Here is Alcides Escobar. Kyle Gibson with 4 2/3 innings of baseball, 1 run allowed. Monty?
Well, one thing, Steve, he has been effective against teams other than the Royals. In fact, if you look at the numbers on him in his wins last year, stellar, under 2 ERA, and his losses over an 8. So he was feast or famine for the Twins.
We go to you again, Monty, and an out recorded. 1-1 score at the end of 5. One score, top of the 6th inning. Edison Volquez versus Kyle Gibson has been as advertised, and Volquez in his 3rd start, all 3 have been good. And the Royals are his 6th different team in 8 big league seasons. He's out of the Dominican Republic, a veteran at the age of 31, and he was with the Pirates last year. Talked to a couple of Buck scouts and coaches, and they said, you will love this guy. He's a great teammate. And Jeff Montgomery, I wanted to ask you about, could he be a leader for some of the young starters the Royals have?
Well, certainly in a great opportunity for him to be a leader. I mean, a good example of that is tonight, that 2nd inning, base runners galore. He's able to really limit the damage, only 1 run. And I think that's something that comes with maturity. We talked earlier about maybe Yordano Ventura learning how to understand how to get out of jams like that, how to handle yourself on the mound. So maybe Volquez could be that guy. Very similar type pitchers, a lot of energy, but hopefully Yordano Ventura can learn a lot from a veteran like Volquez.
As a matter of fact, after Ventura got kicked out, he pulled Yordano aside and talked to him about staying in the game as long as possible to help the team out. Hunter does not like the Volquez spike curve, so he comes back with another one and strikes him out.
You want to talk about a leader? There's one walking off the field right there. Volquez doubled up on the curveball. The first one was up. That's the only reason Torrey could foul it off, and this one here just finished him. But Torrey Hunter, one of the reasons he went back to the original team that signed him was to help Paul Molitor mentor some of these young players. Dayton Moore wanted him. The Royals wanted Torrey Hunter.
Here is Joe Mauer, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and ground out. Torrey at the last minute decided to go back home to Minnesota, the team that originally had drafted and developed him. And the Royals signed Alex Rios, who spent last year with the Texas Rangers. In talking with our medical staff, in particular Dr. Vincent Key, he said that Rios' hand is looking much better, and he really likes the fact that the Royals staff doing such a great job in getting him back on the field as soon as possible. He had that non-displaced fracture in his hand when hit by a twin last week at Target Field. Young J.R. Graham drilled him with an up and in fastball.
Yeah. That wasn't good. First pitch, way up and in. Dangerous spot to throw a hitter. Unfortunate, but those things happen. Okay, let's check this out. First pitch. Watch where this pitch is. Watch where the catcher has to go way up in there. Whenever you throw a ball up near a hitter's hands like that, boy, it's hard to get out of the way because your hands are coming forward. You didn't have a chance to get him out of the way at 96.
Salvi wants the pitch down. Breaking ball hit to Escobar. 2 outs.
Gotta show you the throw out by Salvador Perez to end last inning. Watch him at 6'3", 250. Come up out behind that plate like a cat quick. He knows the guy's going. Look at the feet shift. Feet shift, shoulders lined up perfect, straight over the top with something on it. Colon helped him. Throw was a tad off, but he slapped that tag on the chest, and he is out. Salvador Perez, only 2 successful steals off of him. He's nabbed 4 for a 66% so far in the young season. Now his career, he's averaged a little over 30%, which is excellent. He is some kind of talent behind the plate, and it's no secret any longer.
An all-star again last year. It's Brian Dozier, who's robbed of a hit, and a fine play by both Moustakas and Hosmer last time up. Brian, good power, but also strikes out a lot, over 100 times last year.
Guys, one thing that's very impressive to me for Volquez is a guy that when he misses, you notice almost every time he misses, it's down in the strike zone. It's down below the strike zone. So he doesn't have a tendency to get hurt with a long ball frequently. Now, he got hurt by these Twins last week in his start, but normally he's going to miss off the plate down.
Oh, my.
He challenged him, and man, did he hit it far. Foul, though. Barely.
Just a tad too much top hand, but we saw in the Minnesota series at Target Field Dozier's ability to get on top of a fastball. You got to be careful when you throw him pitches that are up. Molitor is going to have him take another look, because to me looked like it had enough to stay fair, but Molly's going to go look. We'll see. But a vicious top hand by Dozier.
Well, Jeff, you're a little closer than we were.
Well, it's really close from down here. Our cameraman Jonathan Pope said it was definitely foul, but to me it looked like it was very questionable, but it looks foul now on this replay.
Yep, you got it.
Didn't miss the pole by much. Well, Jeff Nelson, who is the crew chief, he was the third base umpire, and he was straddling the line staring at it, and he saw the same view that our cameras saw as well. Right now they're on the phones with New York, talking to umpires there. This is not a challenge because he's allowed to question home run calls. It goes back to before they had the expanded replay rules put into effect before the 2014 season. But managers do get one challenge every game. It is a foul ball, so the score remains tied at 1, and Molitor will still have a challenge.
And Steve, I was just talking about Volquez keeping the ball down. That was a pitch that we saw in the earlier series, that he can turn on that pitch, has a unique ability to get on that ball up. So you got to really, I think you have to say down, down, down on this guy.
And Monty, you always said, you compared it to like a sailor in a storm. A sailor goes to a certain port in the harbor to be safe. And with a pitcher, it's always low and away. That's his harbor.
Exactly.
And he goes to his harbor, Monty, and he gets the strikeout. Take your sailboat there, Monty.
I like it. Keep that ball down.
The 6th inning is our Sonic Slam inning, and of our contestant is Virginia Hooker from Belton, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Virginia will win $900. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Virginia, you get 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Well, Moustakas, I've got to say he's due. He has played so well against Gibson in the past. 5 for 10 coming into tonight. He's popped to center and grounded out to second.
Oh,
and he goes to the left center field area, but Arcia had to play very well and then dropped the baseball. Arcia had it in his glove, and it almost looked like he turned his head. That will be an error on the left fielder, Arcia.
Moose struck that ball well. He hasn't had much luck the last 2 games because he's done that almost every time up. Now, you would think that's a routine play, but no. I mean, he had it, got there in plenty of time, but not catching the ball out in front would cost him. It was too far back. He couldn't see it all the way in his glove. Moose, you know, got caught kind of just being a spectator there. And sometimes that happens to you as a base runner.
Now Eric Hosmer. Ball 1. Well, the Royals are the best in baseball defensively. They have 19 defensive runs saved. That's number 1 in all of baseball. The second place team are the Detroit Tigers with 12. But the Twins are 29th in baseball. Second to last, -10. That brilliant stat coming from David Holtzman, our super statistician, who is to our right.
See if they can make it hurt this inning. 2-0 count. Look for a cookie up. Missed it.
That was his cookie too, because Gibson has usually gone above right around the letters to Eric to get him to chase, or really low.
Yeah, Gibson is not in the baking business. He doesn't leave too many cookies out over the dish.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
That's right. But he is only human. He makes mistakes, and that's what a hitter capitalizes on.
Right-hander Boyer is warming up for Minnesota in their pen, as Gibson right now at 84 pitches. An error has opened the way for Kansas City here in the 6th. Tried to jam him inside, a 3-1 count.
With Bauer holding Moose on over here and then pitching Hosmer in, he's leaving some lanes open right there by Moose. If he keeps pitching Hosmer inside, he can hurt him in there.
Ooh. Oh, and he left one up. It's a 3-2 count.
On a swing like that, you can smell burning at the dish from just the friction of the ball just missing the bat. You can smell it.
Yeah, he had a full rip. He has 1 home run this year. Royals may send Moose. He does not go, and the pitch is fouled off. Fouled off Suzuki, who has been a baseball magnet tonight. He was on the on-deck circle and was struck by a foul ball off of his leg, and now he takes one off of his leg again.
Yeah, now it's the top of his foot. Same foot, though, that they got the foul ball on. Yeah, but, you know, he got right back down in there. Doesn't want to mess with Gibson in his rhythm right now. He didn't want to take any time, so he sat right back down.
To left field, but foul. You had like 4 fans over there saying fair ball, fair ball. Monty, you were talking about his rhythm when he's good.
Yeah, he's really a guy that has been an extreme feast and famine type guy. Look at his ERA and his wins. Amazing opponents batting average against, and his losses have been very poor. So he's a guy that you hope to get him on one of those bad nights. Unfortunately, the Royals seem to always get him on good nights.
Inside, ball 4, so the Royals have 2 on with nobody out. Morales coming to the plate, and Joel Goldberg had a long conversation with Kendris earlier this afternoon.
No, you're right, Fizz, and I had a chance to talk to him because I said, you know, that hit yesterday, that was huge. It's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber hit, and we saw the big delivery yesterday for Kendris. He knew it, and that ended up giving the Royals the win. I said, Kendris, when's the last time you had a hit that big, that exciting? He's had a long, successful career, but we know last year wasn't good, and he said 2013, it was a pinch hit home run at home against Seattle as a Mariner against the Oakland A's. I looked it up, right sitting there with him. June 23rd, 2013, right after his 30th birthday against Grant Balfour. Pinch hit home run, walk-off style.
Ooh, man.
How about a big swing right here? Okay, Rex, I've got a question for you. Twice he's grounded out, once to short and the other one into an inning-ending double play. What adjustments should Morales make?
Just try to doink one over the infielders' heads. You know, look inside, but look out over the plate. But anything up, just look up in the zone. If you doink one, that's okay. Lousy single would work here. So, early in the game, there was a nice gust of wind blowing out to right field. Right now, absolutely zero.
Moustakas second, Hosmer first. 2 balls, 1 strike. That favors the hitter. The Royals much more patient tonight than they were last week facing Gibson when he held them to 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. Good pitch on that breaking ball.
Better believe it. Now that looked like a straight changeup to me. Circle change, and it was a beauty. I mean, perfect. Down underneath his barrel. Sometimes maybe he doubles up with that. Oh.
Down the left field line. This will score Moose. Hosmer races to third. He'll be held there. It's a double for Morales. 2-1 Royals.
Fifth double on the year. That ties Lorenzo Cain in that department. Love how he shortened up his swing on Kyle Gibson. Shortened up his swing and said, all right, I'm not going to give you my A swing. I'm going to just doink you. That's exactly what he was thinking to do in there, Fizz. Couldn't have said it any better. He's looking to shorten up and just find a hole. That's a professional swing.
Well, Paul Molitor coming out. That could mean Blaine Boyer. It does mean Blaine Boyer, who's coming out of that bullpen.
Get Gibson out. Get him off the field. He's too good.
This is our Chevy call to the bullpen. The Royals with a great opportunity. Runners on second and third. Live Royals baseball with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Royals all season wherever you are with the MLB.TV game of the day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Browse the app's new features, including StatCast, tracking videos, and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. The new pitcher is Blaine Boyer, a veteran. He's 33 years of age, out of Atlanta. Infield in. Perez swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Now Boyer is called on because he has had great success against right-handed hitters. Right-handers only had 178 against him last year with San Diego. This is his first time in the American League. He has an ERA of 7.11. He started very poorly, but has thrown shutout baseball in his last 2 outings. That gets away. And here comes Hosmer. He will score the 3rd run.
I was just going to say he goes 90 to 93 with a sinking fastball, and this one sunk right under the glove of Suzuki. Timely if you're a Royals fan.
Still nobody out. Now a ground ball or a fly ball can score a 4th run.
Sinker curve change, get him up in the zone. Look up.
And a breaking ball that was away from Sal. Boyer spent parts of 8 previous seasons with Atlanta, St. Louis, Arizona, the Mets, and San Diego. He also spent a season over in Japan with the Hanshin Tigers. In the air. That will be deep enough. Schaefer says he has it. He does. Tagging at third, Morales. And the Royals lead it 4-1 on a quality at bat by Salvador Perez.
It all started with the ball that was dropped in left field by Arcia. Taking advantage of the mistake, and that's baseball. It's what you do. Salvi, nice sac fly. Look for something up.
E7 started it. Then a walk, then a double. Wild pitch and a sac fly. Here is Alex Gordon. Ooh, that hurt.
Fizz, do you really want to know what that feels like?
Tell me. Go to my garage and do what?
Pull out a hammer and whack yourself on the shin, right below the knee, and then that'll let you know how it feels.
And I have known you for more than 20 years, and you've told me more than 20 times to do that. I have never accepted that challenge. It just doesn't sound wise. Gordon to left field. Arcia will catch this one. So 2 outs in the 6th inning, but 3 runs home so far on only 1 hit.
Watch how he didn't see the ball in his glove. He caught it way in the backside. You got to get your glove out in front, catch that ball out where you could see it. You never know. And you never know when a drop clank ball like that one's going to cost you. It cost your team.
All 3 runs charged to Gibson. Ground ball deep third. Plouffe better hurry because Orlando can run, and he is called out just barely. Chris Guccione, the first base umpire, took his time but made sure. And that's the final out. But 3 runs come across for the Royals. They now lead 4-1 over Minnesota. lead 4-1. Edinson Volquez, part of our sprint cuts of the day, got Torrey Hunter, got Brian Dozier, 5 strikeouts.
You know you got good stuff when you got those guys swinging and looking like that.
Now it's Trevor Plouffe, who is 1 for 2, and he delivers strike 1. Boy, his command, as Monty was saying, when he missed, he's missed down. And that's what we saw from Gibson last week. When Gibson missed last week, he missed low. And Edinson has done the same with the Minnesota Twins tonight. The only run that scored came in the first on an error, a rare error, by Eric Hosmer, the Gold Glove winner. Good bunt.
Let him have it.
No chance.
Great bunt. Yeah, look at that. He squared around in plenty of time. Got a little backspin on that ball. Moose, you know, he's a power hitter. You're not going to play a guy like that on the grass. So you let him have it. And you hope that this guy hits into a double play.
The Royals have turned 1 tonight. That was by Alcides Escobar, who's come back from that left knee injury. It was a mild sprain to his left knee, and Dr. Key told me before the ball game he's not playing with an injury, he's playing with pain, and there's a difference. Drops one on the outside corner. Another good curveball on a 1-0 count. Edinson last year with Pittsburgh won 13 games, lost only 7, but was at his best after the All-Star break when a lot of the Royal scouts were watching him. A little bit high. His post All-Star break numbers, Rex, 5-1 with a 2.2 ERA and 5-0 in August and September with an ERA of 1.6.
You mean a strong finisher?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's exactly what Ned Yost wants.
Good pitch there. Got him to pop up. Shallow left center. Escobar wants it. Escobar gets it.
What the Twins are seeing is a slow, methodical windup, and then when he lets go of the ball, he comes out of there. See how that he jerks at the last minute, and here it comes. 3 pitches out of any of that arm slot right there makes it very tough for hitters. He explodes out of his delivery. Quick upper torso turn, and sometimes it makes it tough for hitters to pick up the release point when a guy's that quick with his turn. Some guys are smooth. I wouldn't call Volquez a smooth style deliverer, because I can watch him from up here, and he looks like he's hard to pick up.
Earlier you talked about pitching coach Dave Island working with him about the timing when he separates his hand from the glove with the baseball.
Yeah, and pulling that arm out and pulling it right up and getting right into throwing position.
Was he inconsistent with it early in spring training?
Last season he had some issues with that because Dave Island studied film from last year. And then in the spring, Dave says, okay, I want you to concentrate on pulling it up and going straight up with it out of your glove instead of around. Too much arm swing. He couldn't repeat his delivery.
Ooh, and that almost tagged Guccione. Chris says he's fine. Now the first base coaches wear helmets, so does the third base coach, but neither one of the corner umpires have to wear them.
You know why he got out of the way like that? Because it hurts.
Is that HUD spelled backwards?
Exactly.
Duh.
Beautiful.
Alex Gordon in left takes care of Arcia, and Plouffe back to first base. Jason Frazier beginning to warm for Kansas City. Now Kelvin Herrera is available. And of course, so too is Wade Davis, but Volquez right now at 96 pitches. Suzuki goes after the first pitch and lifts it foul. Now Kurt with pretty good power. 2 home runs this year. 1 came against the Royals last week. And he's always been a solid starter. Last year 19 RBIs in the month of April. He finished by driving in 61. Hosmer will chase, but the wind will carry that one into the seats. Not much wind right now. Man, it was roaring today when we came to the yard. Between the stadiums, Kauffman Stadium, Arrowhead, ripping at 30 to 35 miles an hour, and the flags were pushing out towards right field.
Calmed down just in the nick of time. That's right. Getting to go fishing tomorrow. Fishing is so much better when there's no wind.
Going for some crappie?
You can see the crappie bite. They can see that the tip of that rod just kind of tap a little.
Ground ball third. Moose has it. Edinson Volquez, 7 solid innings.
He's a machine.
(4-1) Royals lead the Twins as Panera takes us around the league. And first and foremost, it is Detroit winning 2-1. So they stay hot, getting a win from Alfredo Simon. He's 3-0. White Sox losing to Cleveland 3-0. Boston told you about that before, 7-1. Oakland and LA just underway. Our Mazda game break takes us to the south side of Chicago. Yan Gomes is on the DL. There's former Royals catcher Brett Hayes going deep. Good guy Brett Hayes providing the offense for Cleveland, and based on the attire of the White Sox there, looks awfully cold in Chicago.
And Joel, I understand the Chicago White Sox just called up Carlos Rodon. They're going to put him in the bullpen, but you go for how long, with John Danks not being the John Danks he once was, or Hector Noesi?
Till after the break.
Right, and the other news that is worth pointing out regarding Detroit is that MRI came back on Justin Verlander. And remember, this was an injury in spring training that started with him maybe being dehydrated, and he hasn't been back since. Went on the DL for the first time, tricep injury, and now they're saying it's a strain. No timetable on Justin Verlander.
Wow. Everybody else has been pitching pretty well for the Tigers, and there's a ground ball struck to third. Plouffe has it, throws out Cologne, and Christian 0 for 2 with a walk.
You know why I say it's a good decision for Rodon to go to the bullpen?
Why is that?
Because if they put him in the rotation now towards the end of the season, the innings will pile up on him, and they don't want to have to shut him down.
And you know, it's almost like what the Twins did with Johan Santana when they first called him up, and he was remarkable in the bullpen because they could use him 3 times a week. Chicago started the night at 4-7. Cleveland was 4-7 as well. Dyson 0 for 2. One ball, one strike. Blaine Boyer came on in relief of Kyle Gibson, who would suffer his first loss against Kansas City unless the Twins rally. He gave up all 4 runs. Dyson takes a strike. It's 1-2. Boyer really pitched well during spring training. A 1.26 ERA. Chopper. Dozier comes in quickly, where he is a good defensive second baseman. So Boyer will face Escobar, and it's good to see him back on the field again after missing the last 2 games. He turned a double play earlier and then doubled and scored the tying run on a wild pitch. The Royals have scored 2 runs tonight on wild pitches.
He was extremely disappointed to miss not just 1 game, but 2. He's the only guy in the majors last year to play every single game.
He had played 172 straight games before being knocked out on Friday and having to miss Saturday and Sunday. And he is playing with a sleeve on his left knee. Good breaking ball, 0-2. So Boyer has faced 5, retired all 5, but when he came in, he threw that wild pitch that scored a run and then also gave up the sac fly to Salvi Perez. One ball, 2 strikes. Hit to the right side. Joe Mauer will make the play and get it to Boyer covering. So we are through 7 here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Royals 4, Twins 1. Brought to you by Steel, outdoor power equipment, quality, reliability, and value. Search Steel. By your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit us at yourmidwestforddealers.com. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. 4-1 Royals, top of the 8th inning. Kansas City with a scintillating victory yesterday, 4-2 over the A's. Kauffman Stadium, all 3 games was absolutely on fire. Playoff-like atmosphere. And now Kelvin Herrera will come in to try and go 3 up, 3 down in the 8th inning. Kelvin getting the 8th inning assignment because of the injury suffered by Greg Holland. And you can see his strong numbers this year, 5 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. He recorded 2 outs in the 8th inning yesterday versus the A's before receiving his first career ejection for throwing behind Oakland Athletics third baseman Brett Lawrie, who became Kansas City's public enemy #1 after taking out the Royals shortstop Escobar on Friday. Every time Lawrie stuck his head out of the visiting dugout, he got booed. Well, Jordan Schaefer tonight is 0 for 2, but that was against Edinson Volquez, who was again terrific. 1 run allowed in 7 innings of work. Fouled off.
A lot of people in America talking about the Kansas City Royals.
I was watching MLB Network and they were all over the Royals.
Hey, it's okay. Publicity is publicity. We'll take it now. Look, no one got hurt. No one got seriously injured except for Escobar.
And as Ned Yost so aptly put it, he goes, we talked today and we want to learn from this experience.
I think it's great they're talking about our team. And you know what? They talked about our team last year when there was only 2 teams standing. The rest of baseball watched. And some people don't like watching. Hang with them. They are literally, the Royals are defending their flag.
To left field, but Gordon had him played perfectly. Well, MLB Network, they do a great job, and they have the MLB Whip Around every weeknight. Don't miss MLB Whip Around on Fox Sports 1 with highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknights at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Absolutely love it. Whip Around.
The Royals have been on a lot lately. Why not? And I don't know how many broadcasters said, boy, that Kauffman Stadium crowd was electric. It was like they were already in the postseason, and it was only April. Here is Danny Santana. And look at the way the Royals are defending Danny Santana. And Rusty Kuntz is the guy who directs traffic for Kansas City's outfield defense. And I don't know how many times a ball is struck directly at where he has positioned those guys. I asked Lorenzo Cain one time, I said, how often do you look at that man? He goes, every pitch. Every pitch he's moving me, saying, come in, move to the right. And then he'll say, no, 2 more steps. One of the best outfield coaches in baseball.
Better believe it.
Herrera works him upstairs at 98 miles an hour.
That's what I like to call a Linda Ronstadt pitch. Of course, there's a lot of young people out there that don't know who Linda Ronstadt is. She had a pitch.
Another Linda
called
Ronstadt.
the Blue Bayou. And that is exactly those last 2 pitches. You get him to swing at one once, you can get him to do it again.
He just went up the ladder.
He did. 2 chances. Slim and none.
Well, that young man likes Kelvin Herrera and the 96 to 100 mile an hour fastball. And Herrera also learned, Rex, and I think the most important thing, if he is suspended, he has to realize that the Royals team is missing a huge part of their bullpen. He is that important. A 1.41 ERA for an entire season last year.
It's going to give another reliever an opportunity to come up and show what he can do while he's serving. But in the meantime, what he did for the position players that are all in there spoke volumes, and it'll carry way past that suspension. Protection. We are well protected. Even though it was not advisable.
He walks Torrey Hunter. And that will bring Joe Mauer to the plate. So Hunter on for the second time. He singled back in the third. Joe off to a slow start for Joe standards. 0 for 3 in this game. Batting average at .255, and he came in with a career batting average that was near .320. But he has not been as productive at Target Field as he was at the Metrodome. He has 109 home runs in his career, but only 37 in the last 5+ seasons. So he goes from 98 to 86.
Two wonderful pitches. All he needs. He has a rolling breaking ball. He threw it some last year, but he doesn't throw it a lot. There's no need to throw it when you only come in for an inning or two.
So he's going to go back upstairs, and Mauer hits it towards right, but Hosmer's right there, and that will do it for Minnesota in the 8th inning. out of Northfield, Minnesota, small town south of Minneapolis, and he has only thrown one inning because he started the year at AAA Rochester. But on Friday, Brian Dunsing, who is one of their chief lefties out of the pen, he was placed in the disabled list, and so they brought up Thielbar, and he will face Mike Moustakas, Eric Hosmer, and Kendrys Morales here in the last of the 8th, with the Royals leading 4-1.
Low 90s, fastball, curveball, and occasional changeups.
He has a career record of 5-3 and a solid 2.57 ERA. Two balls and no strikes. Moose reached on the error to open the 6th inning. That was the ball Arcia dropped. The next batter, Eric Hosmer, with a very good at bat to walk, and then Morales snuck one down the line to drive in one, and another would score in a wild pitch, and another would score in a sac fly, and the Royals broke that 1-1 tie and took the 4-1 lead.
I'm hoping we can see that base hit double down the left field line by Morales again. That was really sweet.
Good fastball to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Twins took an early 1-0 lead, but the Royals scored 1 in the 3rd, and we told you about the 3 in the 6th. The rest has been terrific pitching. 7 innings by Volquez, 1 by Herrera. A 3-2 count now to Moose.
He's definitely waiting till the ball travels deeper towards the catcher's glove. That's why he's getting the base hits to the opposite field, waiting longer. I'd like to see him hit a solo shot, but a base hit to left field on the line would be nice.
Just did grab a piece of it, and Suzuki unable to hold on, so Moose still alive. He hangs on to it. Mike's a strikeout victim. Now he sends 1-2 left. A long run. Won't get there. Mike, with extra life, you get yourself a double.
I'm telling you, that's doing a wonder of good for him and his whole new approach and his whole new number 2 batting position in Ned's order.
And Rex, so many of his opposite field hits have come with 2 strikes.
He has figured it out, and it's going to make wonders for his batting average, do wonders for that, and the rest of the team are going to benefit from it.
Hosmer has walked twice tonight. Takes inside, ball 1.
So many times we've witnessed Moose, you know, 3-2 count, just trying to pull that ball and yank it. Now look at it, more hits to left than right.
Earlier this year, he hit his first home run ever to left field. And Hosmer going to 3rd. Trevor Plouffe with a heck of a play, but he does get Moustakas to 3rd base.
So Hosmer says if Moose can do it, so can I.
Nice little wink.
Yeah, there you go. That's really nice.
You know what this is another example of? Team baseball. We saw it in postseason.
Right.
These guys have bought in.
Right, and he's moving the runner, putting more pressure on the Minnesota Twins.
And with the Royals bullpen, sometimes a 4-run lead seems like an 8-run lead.
And look who you have here. Morales has made a big difference as far as meat in the order, and you got Salvi to follow.
Morales mauls an offering by Thielbar and pulls it well foul. Let's go back to the 6th inning for our Jeep drive of the game.
3-2. Says, I don't really trust him. I'm just going to go the other way. I'm not going to try to hit a 3-run homer. I'm going to find a hole and hurt him with a lousy single. No, actually, that was a double. But he shortened up his swing, and he is some kind of professional hitter. Either side of the plate. Doesn't matter. Two different styles, though. From the right side, he just does a little toe tapper. That's not going to be enough.
Oh, the ball drops! Moustakas scores! 5-1.
He's going right. That'll be a line shot in the books tomorrow. That ball had more hang time than a Ray Guy punt.
Now you've got Ray Guy and Linda Ronstadt.
I mean to tell you,
our teenagers don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay. They'll figure it out. But Dozier gave up on it. And in the meantime, Schaefer thought Dozier was going to take it all the way. Ray Guy's a Hall of Fame punter.
Well, you could have said Gerald Wilson because he was a pretty good punter for the Chiefs.
Now, you're right, but I'm learning my Chiefs history as well. But I went with it. How many punters are in the Hall of Fame?
Not many.
That's right.
That's the only punter who's been drafted in the 1st round.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at that.
Well placed single to right by Salvador Perez. Morales stops at second.
How about Hosmer's sacrifice? You know, that's really nice to see a guy like that with a nice lead. They didn't really need Hosmer to drive the ball out of the park or hit a gapper, so he shortens up. And look at the train keep rolling. Another guy shortening up on his swing, not getting hungry for power or trying to, you know, really juice the ball. Simply playing baseball and hitting the ball where it's pitched.
So Alex Gordon comes up with 2 on, 1 out. Our general manager, Dayton Moore, said something that was very important at the end of last year when the Royals eclipsed the Angels in the American League Division Series. He said, you know, now that our guys have a taste of postseason, they realize nothing else matters.
No, just win. Doesn't matter how you score the runs. Homers are nice, but they know they can win with small ball, and look what they're doing with it. Power's coming. Rios will get back. They'll get it full strength, and they'll have a little more pop in that lineup. But in the meantime, just score more runs than your opponent.
Speed, defense, great bullpen.
Starting pitching's got to equate in there. Volquez, wow, he is stepping up big time.
3rd terrific start for Edinson Volquez, whose only loss came against Kyle Gibson and his excellence last week. 3-2 count to Gordon. The Kansas City bullpen has now been scored upon in only 1 inning this year. They've allowed 3 earned runs in 38 innings. Oh, good pitch, and he went soft on 3-2, and Alex swings and misses and strikes out. So 2 gone now in the 8th inning. Paul Molitor will make a change. I believe he wants a right-hander to face Paulo Orlando, and that is indeed who he'll go with. Paulo Orlando will bat for the 4th time tonight, and he and his outfield coach, Rusty Kuntz, spent time this afternoon videotaping a program called Covering the Bases with the Royals. It's an instructional video for little leaguers in the Kansas City area, and it's also on our pregame show. And you help out on that in the past.
Well, it's a lot better when you have that guy, Rusty Kuntz, an official coach, and you have one of the players out there. That's even better. Man, and they're teaching the kids. Gotta love it. Passing the game on.
And the subject, it can be from base running to hitting to outfield play. And Paulo Orlando, who has taken over for Alex Rios much of the time in right field, he says that is the position he feels most comfortable. In the gap, right center field.
Could it be?
He could have another triple. In comes one. In comes two. Going to third. How about this? 5 triples in his young big league career.
Paulo Triple O. Again. This guy loves the K. Spacious. All he's got to do, split a gap. I agree with you, fans. Down the middle, short compact stroke, and it's off to the races. Can we get a time on him, please? We've had 3 of his triples timed.
Christian Colon to center field. Schaefer will make the catch, but the damage has been done. 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 8th. Orlando in real time. Take it away. 5 triples in his first month of big league baseball.
Going to hit second inside part of the back. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Paulo Triple O.
After 9.5 years in the minor leagues, and puts the Royals up 7-1. And stay tuned, because Boulevard Royals Live will be coming up with Joel Goldberg and the great Jeff Montgomery, our Royals Hall of Famer. Our next 2 games, these are the probables. Jason Vargas against Tom Malone. Malone has been sharp in both of his starts, both victories this year. Pelfrey with a 4.5 ERA, a former Wichita State Shocker, against Jeremy Guthrie, who has 1 win, no losses. Vargas pitched well in his first start against the Angels, and then did not pitch nearly so well against these Twins. And so Ryan Madson, because it's no longer a save situation, Wade Davis sat down in the bullpen, and Madson, very capable, comes out with a 1.93 ERA, a former closer for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Madson, the velocity on his fastball is back to 94 and 95.
He delivers ball 1. And Ryan grew up in Long Beach. And then when he was drafted by the Phillies, he moved to New Jersey, he and his wife. And did you know he met his wife in the 6th grade?
Good for him.
Finally asked her out as a junior in high school. They've been dating ever since, now married with 5 children. And he makes his home in Temecula, California. Here's a note for you fans. We've been talking about Paulo Orlando, what he has done to open his young big league career. Rex Hudler had 10 triples in 1,767 at bats. Low throw, another great pick by the Gold Glover Eric Hosmer.
Now, why you got to go there?
Okay, you had 10 triples in almost 1,800 at bats. Paulo Orlando, Hud, has 5 triples in only 26 at bats.
Now, our statistician that we have,
and quite frankly, you had very good speed. I know that.
Well, our statistician is so good. You know, he helps us. He helps us out, but he didn't have to go there. Well, I'm proud of Paulo. Look.
Yeah, he gave us the note, and then of course you hand me the note.
Well, I wanted you to see how good Paulo really is. I mean, it took me a long time to get 10 triples. Heck, he hasn't even been here a month yet, and he's got half my total.
Yeah, Rex Hudler is one of those players who always said, you know, I'm tired of talking about myself. Why don't you talk about me?
Thanks, Fizz.
So Dozier is out number 1 in the 9th inning. And the batter is Trevor Plouffe, who is 2 for 3. Plouffe singled on a changeup to center field in the 2nd inning, grounded out in the 4th to 3rd, and then dropped a beautifully placed bunt single in the 7th inning. Madsen delivers a perfectly located fastball at 94 miles an hour on the outside corner to even the count at 2-2. Look at that changeup. Even though it was up, the separation in speed of fastball to changeup was 13 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's the best changeup and one of the best changeups there are. Period. Now, Kelvin Herrera, he possesses a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and an 88-mile changeup, and that tremendously effective. And Madsen has this pitch developed since he was just a young child. Really wonderful pitch.
Well, the Royals right now with the lowest ERA of any bullpen in baseball. It was at 0.73 to start tonight's game. Herrera with a shutout 8th. Now Madsen trying to throw a shutout 9th. Ground ball Hosmer. This should do it. Gives it to Madsen. And the Royals are 10-3. Paulo Orlando, one of the stars, with his 5th triple in only 26 major league games. The doinker by Morales. He broke the 1-1 tie.
10-3, and look at me. Me, as in the Kansas City Royals, playing fundamentally sound baseball. How can you believe they did make an error tonight? But they overcame that and continued to frenzy-style hit so Casey could put up a W.
The Twins with a 1-0 lead, but the Royals roared back with a run to tie it in the 3rd inning, then scored 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 8th to take home a victory and start this series with Minnesota on a winning note. Let's go down to Joel Goldberg, who's with Mike Moustakas.
All right, Fizz, thank you very much. And a balanced attack tonight for the Royals. By the way, don't look over your shoulder because Salvy's in the middle of another interview. So for the time being, we'll try to get you out of here before that. How important was today or tonight just to kind of get back to calming things down and getting back to baseball?
Real important. It was a crazy series last series, and it's good to come out here and play some baseball and get a big W today.
For whatever reason, Kyle Gibson has really had your numbers 4-0 against you, but how important was patience tonight in drawing some of those walks?
Absolutely. He threw the ball fantastic for him. He was commanding it well in, out, up, down, and we battled, we grinded it out, and found a way to get a W. Eddie threw a great game for us. We played some good defense, and that's what Royals baseball is all about.
I want to ask you a little bit more about Edison Volquez. He's gone at least 7 innings in every one of his starts. What's impressed you the most about him in his first 3 games?
His demeanor on the mound. He goes at guys. He commands all of his pitches, and he keeps the defense in the game. So it's fun playing defense behind him. He's always working fast, working quick, and it's fun playing back there behind him.
You're good, Salvy's still talking. Last thing I want to ask you about is the other guy doing an interview right now, Paulo Orlando. A lot of you guys may be lucky if you have 5 triples in your career. He's got 5 in 2 weeks. What do you think?
It's unbelievable. I mean, the kid runs unbelievable, and you got to hit it too. So he's doing a great job right now, and we're just all so happy for him. Most of us play with him a long time in the minor leagues, and he couldn't be happier for a guy like that. He works hard, and it really shows now.
Congrats on the win. Way to stay dry. You still got time to get Salvy if you want.
Oh, no, I'm going home.
There you go. Mike Moustakas, everybody. Let's go back upstairs to Fizz, and there come the Moose chants.
Thank you very much, Joel. A very fine win for the Royals. And Mike Moustakas did it with the bat, did it with the glove, and Kansas City is 10-3 and keeping pace with those Detroit Tigers.